Welcome to Veteach. In this video, we'll discuss about what is an applet, what is the life cycle of an applet, what are the steps involved in developing an applet program, and then what are the predefined methods that are present in java.applet package. What is an applet? So before getting into what is an applet, I'll say a small example where we come across these applets in our day-to-day life. Generally, we have the habit of browsing the internet. When we browse the internet in Google Chrome or any browser, in between there are some advertisements that are displayed in addition to the content that we are using. So the content or the advertisements that are being displayed are known as applets. Applets are the special windows that runs inside any web browser. So these applets will not have any title bar and menu bar. They just be a part of another web page. So these are the advertisements that we come across in your day-to-day life in the web browsers are known as applets. So the outputs of applets can be redirected to any web browsers. Applet is a special type of program. It's a special type of program. Why we call it as a special type of program is generally all the programs that we are seeing till now had displayed the output or the command prompt itself. But the output of an applet can be redirected to a special window where we can work with different colors, images, and animations. That's why we call applet as a special program that is embedded in the web page to generate the dynamic content. As we have discussed that in the web pages, in the web browsers, we will be seeing the outputs of applets. These are embedded in the web page, which is used to generate dynamic content. What do you mean dynamic content means? Which changes from time to time. Every time the output gets changed. But whereas for a normal application, the output will not be changed every time dynamically. But for an applet program, the output gets changed dynamically based on the operation that we have performed. It runs inside the browser and works at the client side. So it's going to be running at the browser end and at the client side. Generally, we have client-server programming approach where we are going to use these applets on the client side to run some applications. Now coming to what are the different advantages of applets. There are many advantages of applets. Some of them are listed here. It works at client side, so less response time. Why it is less response time? Whenever a client wants to get some data from the server, it has to create a request and it has to send that request through the network to the server. If the server is busy with some set of other operations, the request that is sent by the client will be in the waiting state for some time. When the request is processed and the response is created, server is going to send a response back to the client. So for this process, it takes some time. But when we use an applet, since it is running on the client side itself, the response time or the time taken to transfer from client to server and server to client gets reduced. That's why less response time. Secured. It is providing much security to our applications. It can be executed by browsers running under many platforms including Linux, Windows, Mac OS, etc. It can be working on any type of browsers which are work at different platforms. It is platform independent. It's not platform dependent. Means the output of applet programs will be seen in the same way in different type of platforms of operating systems like Windows, Solaris, Mac, and Linux. All are going to give the same outputs. This is about the basic introduction to what is an applet and what are the advantages of applets. Now let's see life cycle of an applet. The life cycle of an applet contains totally 5 different stages. The first one is init stage, start, stop, destroy, and payment. These are the 5 different stages of an applet. The first one is init method. Whenever an applet is newly created, it requires some set of variables for initialization purpose, like what is the height of the applet, what is the width of the applet, what is the color combination that has to be used inside the applet, that is foreground color and background color, what is the font size that has to be used to work with different messages that ought to be displayed inside the applet. All these initialization things will be done inside init method. Init method is used for initialization purpose, which is applet is initialized. Next, applet is started. So start the execution of the applets, which is done by using the start method. Applet is started. Meanwhile, when you just click on minimize button inside the applet, we'll get output of an applet in a special window where we'll have minimum, maximum, and then close bar. Here the output of the applet will be displayed. When we try to minimize the applet by clicking on the minimize button, what happens is applet is temporarily suspended for some time until we maximize it. Means it is going to perform some temporary shutdown activities to perform other actions. In those cases, what happens is applet is stopped. Means it is stopped temporarily. Unfortunately or fortunately, if your work on the applet is completed, we click on the close bar of the applets where we are destroying the applets. Means all the initializations and all the starting of the applet and everything will be closed. Nothing will be present for the applet. Means the instance of the applet is totally destroyed. Next, init method. Next one is paint method. What an applet should contain, or what is the output of an applet program should be written inside the paint method. Paint is a collection of some executable instructions whose output is displayed inside the applet window. These are the 5 different methods present in the life cycle of an applet. The first one is init method, which contains all the initialization things. Paint start method, which is used to start the execution of an applet. Stop, to temporarily stop the execution of the applet. Destroy, to completely destroy the instance of the applet. Paint, which contains some executable instructions whose output is displayed inside the applet. The points we need to remember for applet lifecycle is, if you are temporarily stop the execution of the applet, stop method is called. When we reopen this applet which was temporarily suspended, start method is called when it is temporarily stopped. Now, when it is permanently stopped, what happens is internally destroy method is called. If we want to start the applet again, we have to start from init method, because since the instance was totally destroyed, we have to start from init method again. These are the 5 methods present in the life cycle of an applet. Next one is graphics class. As we have discussed that paint method contains some set of executable instructions whose output is redirected onto an applet window. The functions which are used to work with different geometrical figures or displaying messages on the applet are present in graphics class. Graphics is a predefined class present in java.applet package. The main important class present in java.applet package is graphics class. Now let's discuss what are the different methods present in this graphics class. If we want to display a message inside the applet window, we have a method known as drawString. What this drawString is going to do is, it's going to take 3 parameters. The first one is, what is the message that has to be displayed, and then x, y coordinates where the output has to be displayed. Here, the basic difference between a normal program and an applet program is, in a normal program, the output is displayed at the command prompts where we execute our programs. We cannot decide where the output has to be displayed in normal program. But whereas in applet, we can specify the x, y coordinate position where the output has to be displayed. It's according to the user requirements. The x, y coordinates of the applet window has to be passed for drawString method, which displays the string present in str at the x, y values. If this is the applet, this is treated as x and this is treated as y. So we have to specify the x, y coordinate position where the output has to be displayed. So this is top 0, 0 and this is height, width. So based on this, the values gets incremented and we can pass the values for this drawString method where the output has to be displayed. Next, drawRect. This drawRect is a predefined method present in graphics class which is used to display either a rectangle or a square. How this drawRect is going to work is, it is going to take 4 arguments. The first argument is x value and next one is y, where the x inside the applet window, where the rectangle drawing has a start will be specified by x comma y coordinates, and then width pixel number of values a line is drawn, and then height number of pixels a value is drawn, and then these 2 points are joined. This is how a rectangle is drawn. We are going to get an empty rectangle. How we are going to get a square by using the drawrect method is, if width and height are same, we are going to get a square. If width and height are different, we will be getting a rectangle. Drawrect method is used to draw a rectangle as well as a square. If height and width are same, we get a square. If they are different, we get a rectangle. Fill rect. Drawrect is just going to get an empty rectangle, whereas fill rect is going to draw a rectangle as well as fill it with a default color that is present for foreground and background color. So in this way, we are going to get a color inside the rectangle or the square that we draw. This is the purpose of fill rect. Drawrect is going to just draw a rectangle or a square, whereas fill rect is going to draw a rectangle or a square and then fill it with a color also. Draw oval. Draw oval is a predefined method which is used to draw either a oval or a circle. How they are differentiated is, first of all, we shall see what is the working of draw oval method. It takes totally 4 arguments. The first 2 coordinates are x and y, where the rectangle has to be drawn. Initially, for draw oval, what happens is we are going to draw a rectangle with the given coordinate values, or otherwise a square if height and width are same. And then what it is going to do is, it's going to join all these midpoints. So, and based on that, we are going to get a oval or a circle. If height and width are same, we are going to get a circle. If both are different, we are going to get a oval. So draw oval is going to draw a oval or a circle. If height and width are same, we are going to get a circle. If they are different, we are going to get a oval. Next, fill oval. Fill oval is used to draw a oval or a circle and then fill it with a color. So internally, it's going to fill it with a color also. That's the difference between fill oval and draw oval. So this is how it is going to work. Next, draw line. Draw line is going to draw a line between 2 endpoints. So here we need to pass 2 endpoints, x1, y1 and x2, y2. So first of all, it's going to locate what is x1 and then y1 inside the applet and x2, y2 inside the applet, and then it is going to join these 2 endpoints with a line segment. This is how a line will be drawn. Draw arc. Draw arc is used to draw an arc with the given set of values. So how it is going to draw an arc is, it's going to take totally 6 values. The first values are x and y, where it has to start drawing the values, and then height and width, what should be the height of the arc and what should be width of the arc, and then start angle and sweep angle. If I draw an arc, we should specify at which angle it has to start and at which angle it has to end by using start angle and arc angle. Start angle tells where the arc starting has to be done. Arc angle tells how much distance it has to travel to get an arc. In this way, we are going to get an empty arc, that's all. Whereas what happens when we use a fill arc is, we are going to get an arc with fill inside it. That arc will be filled. This is how fill arc is going to work. Draw arc is just going to draw an arc, whereas fill arc is just going to fill that arc with a color also. That's the difference. According to the user requirement, you can use either fill arc or draw arc. Next one is set color. So if I want to change the color combinations that are already existing, the default color combinations are, the background color is white and the foreground color is black. The applet window will be totally having the background as white color. On it, when we draw with rectangles or display some messages, we will have the black color. If I want to change the color, we can use a method known as set color. In this, we need to pass the object of color. It is used to set the graphic current color to the specified color. So graphics color can be changed by using this specified color. Next, set font of font F. There is a default font that is present for displaying the messages of the applet. If I want to change the default font of the applet display messages, we can use this set font method, which is used to change the font. So these are some of the predefined methods present in the graphics class. In this way, an applet is different with normal program. In normal program, we cannot display different geometrical figures like square, triangle, rectangle, oval, and circles. But whereas in Applet, we can have different functions present in graphics class, work with different type of animations as well as with geometrical figures. Thank you.